Hello there from the small window on your screen. This is Adam Turtletop from the Society of Corporate Compliance and Ethics. Joining me from Washington, D.C. is Pamela Passman from CREATE. She'll be speaking at the 2015 Compliance and Ethics Institute, which will take place October 4th through 7th in Las Vegas, on global privacy and data protection risks, protecting corporate digital assets. Pamela, first of all, thank you so much for joining us and the work you're putting into your session. Secondly, this is a big issue. On the one hand, you've got the risks of outsider attacks that we've seen that you've got to protect yourselves from. What are some of the things companies should be thinking about doing?
Thank you, Adam. It's great to be participating in the Las Vegas conference in October. Well, I think everyone appreciates now that it's not a question of if, but when your company might be subject to a breach. So it's critically important that companies really identify what is their most critical, sensitive, valuable information, the so-called crown jewels, and really invest in protecting those assets. Right now with the cost of data storage, companies are keeping a lot of data and a lot of information. So, there's no discrimination between what is easily accessible versus not easily accessible by even people inside the company. So really being able to classify and prioritize and really determine who has access to the information, who should have access to the information, and in what way do they have access to the information.
And that's a natural segue into the question of it's not just the risk of the outsiders, trying to cut their way into your system, hack their way into your system, but there's also the risk of employees holding on to stuff, losing thumb drives, losing printouts, all of that. What do you see companies do to try and address those kinds of issues, if you will, the sort of simple dopey things that end up causing so much problem?
No, you're absolutely right. We read a lot about nation states and hacktivists and organized crime, penetrating a company's network, and those are significant risks. But the biggest risks are really insiders, and it's malicious behavior by insiders. That's really current and former employees, current and former business partners. But a lot of it is just careless. Losing a laptop, clicking on to an email, a link that really is malware, and providing access to third parties inside, through an employee's email. All of these things, are really require ongoing awareness, education, and training of employees. We find now that a lot of companies have posters, in their break rooms on these issues, that they're actually doing e-learning and other kinds of training and awareness.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's a prudent step just because we've seen, how expensive it can be, both in terms of penalties that you may pay, payouts to people, but also in terms of the long-term damage to your organization. And obviously, in the case of Sony, it got to the point where even hardware had to be thrown out. Well, I think you've definitely shown people this is a really hot topic that they should be addressed. I look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas, and hopefully those of you who are watching will join us also October 4th through 7th in Las Vegas for the 2015 Compliance and Ethics Institute. I'm Adam Turtletop from SCCE. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.